Watched by more people than any other network. ABC.
Now, coverage you can count on. Channel 2 Action News Night Beat.
15 months before athletes go for the gold in Atlanta, it's time for Olympic fans to go for the order forms. Millions of Olympic ticket order forms will be available beginning at dawn tomorrow. And that's our top story on the Night Beat. Good evening. I'm Sandra Bookman.
And I'm John Alston. If you want to see the games in person and not on some 19-inch TV, now is your chance. Night Beat reporter Jonathan Seri is covering our top story. He's live in Midtown with more.
John, this is amazing. The story is unfolding even as we speak. Believe it or not, there are already some people camping out in the parking lot. There were some rumors going around that these coveted forms would go on display starting at midnight. Well, some people just went into the store you see behind me, and apparently they're not going on display until later in the morning. But this is the hottest ticket in town. These are order forms for tickets, which will go on display in area grocery stores and also Home Depots. But even if you're not camping out in the parking lot, ACOG officials say don't worry. There will be plenty of these to go around.
I sure can.
ACOG has printed a record number of Olympic brochures. More than 36 million ticket order forms will soon be available in more than 15,000 locations around the country.
It's going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be busy tomorrow morning.
To find out what events will be the most popular, we went all the way to Chicago. Chicago pizza, that is. What would these Atlanta sports fans like to see at the Olympics?
Opening ceremonies would be fine. If I go, it'd be track events.
Maybe even baseball or soccer.
Track and field.
Basketball. Women's beach volleyball.
I like swimming, so I would really probably want to see that.
Basketball. Love basketball.
We want to come down and see the dream team.
Mainly the gymnastics. I think it's going to be really hard to get the big events like gymnastics and all that.
I personally don't think getting tickets will be a problem. I think there'll be enough tickets out there, be it you get them through the lottery or, you buy them secondhand.
Olympic officials agree.
We have 11 million tickets to sell. It's more than Los Angeles and Barcelona combined. So if you order carefully, order a broad selection, you're going to have a shot at getting just about what you want.
And if we can't get those, then we'll get tickets that aren't so, that people don't want so much.
Like, for example,
team handball, synchronized swimming, just to go. We just want to go. So we'll go to anything just to be there.
And if you want to be there, you will need one of these forms, but they are not on display yet. Well, if they're not, Jonathan, why are you holding one of these things? Well, Sandra Bookman got an advance copy. She loaned it to me to use as a prop in my live shot, and you wouldn't believe how many people here have asked me to see this thing. But, Sandra, I promise I'll get it back to you. Back to you, John. We're live in Midtown. Jonathan Seri, Channel 2 Action News.
You could be in danger tonight. And also I want to remind everybody to stay with Channel 2 for helpful information so that you can strike gold when it comes to Olympic tickets. Thanks.
Now, after you pick up the Olympic ticket brochure, here are a few things that you need to keep in mind as you sit down and make those choices. You'll be choosing a preferred event, plus a first and second alternate. Now, don't forget to include a check, a money order, or your Visa card number as payment for your order. You should mail it by June 30th for the best chance to get the tickets that you want. By September, mail order customers should receive confirmation of their tickets. But ticket delivery won't actually begin until the spring of 1996. Now, even though events themselves are awarded randomly, they kind of throw them all into a computer, the seats will be assigned in the order the applications are received. So there is an advantage to getting your order in as quickly as possible. An implosion that rocked Philadelphia today will soon be felt right here in Atlanta before the 1996 Olympics.
We were just coming out of a heavy storm.
Philadelphia's Rosen public housing apartments tumbled in a cloud of dust this morning. It's part of an overall reform of public housing programs at the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Now, the largest demolition will take place right here in Atlanta in late May at Techwood Clark Howell Homes. That's a complex that sits right next to the Olympic Village, and some 900 replacement apartments should be under construction there when the Olympics begin.
It was a demolition derby on I-75 in Clayton County. Only a few people had minor injuries, but nearly 24 cars did not survive. The series of pileups happened on I-75 near Jonesboro Road. 25 to 30 cars smashed into each other. Some of the drivers were from out of state, just passing through town. Traffic was backed up for miles and for hours. Clayton County Police say it all started with a minor fender bender between drivers. The cars kept on going, but everybody else hit the brakes.
We were just coming out of a heavy storm, heavy rain, and it was just starting to let up. You know, we might have been picking up speed to about 45, 50, and it just happened. You know, the Cadillac stopped in front of me, and well, they didn't stop. They slowed down. I hit the back of them. It was all over with.
8 people were taken to the hospital, but their injuries were minor. It was probably more terrifying for a 19-year-old driver in DeKalb County, however. Stan Cornell crashed through a guardrail on I-20 near Candler Road. He shot through the air and landed in a ditch.
I bumped over something, and then I lost control of the wheel, and I started going down in the ditch. I just closed my eyes, and then I think I flipped over, so the top of the car bent up, too.
Other drivers stopped to help him out of the car. He was not seriously hurt, actually more concerned about the car because he'd just gotten it.
In Gwinnett County, school board members were forced into a kind of impromptu public hearing today. A crowd of upset parents and students showed up at a scheduled executive work session of the board. They're concerned about a proposal that would cut some school fine arts programs and busing services. Board members told the crowd that they'd come only to talk about personnel matters, not the budget.
Ma'am, I've had over 125 calls. I've returned a good part of them.
Remember that what we do here today, we do because we have a passion for what we do in the orchestra. And to us, these things are like, I don't know how to say it. It's sort of like magic.
The board is expected to meet Tuesday to adopt a tentative budget.
Coming up on the Action News Night Beat, there's heartbreak for a family in Chicago. They are forced to give up the child they raised from a baby.
A somber observance in the nation's capital marks the 20th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War.
And we had a few thunderstorms out there this afternoon, but they're out of here. What's ahead tomorrow? More thunderstorms. I'll tell it for you in just a minute.
Also, the staff of a Georgia restaurant reach out to help the people in Oklahoma. That's straight ahead.
Tomorrow at 5 on Channel 2 Action News, they promise you paradise.
We felt like we were getting a Cadillac of vacations.
But what you really get
It was a dump.
is taken for a ride.
Travel fraud is a very widespread problem. I lost probably $6,000 overall.
Now, Channel 2's Clark Howard shows you how to spot a vacation that's going nowhere.
I feel like I've been cheated.
Watch Clark Howard's Travel Warning tomorrow at 5 on Channel 2 Action News. Coverage you can count on.